guys, it's Elle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all of the fantasy romances on my TBR. So I am in a very fantasy cozy mood, and I really want to read some fantasy romances in October. And yeah, I just have a list of books. I also wanted to talk about some of the favorite fantasies that I love, and maybe you guys can give me some recommendations in the comments. I know this is super basic, but I love Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, the House of Flame, House of Earth and Blood series, and the Chris Broadbent series. I'm just a very basic fantasy girly, romantasy. I kind of go with the trends, but I end up liking some of them, but also not. I'm very picky about fantasy books. But if you are a fantasy girly and you have some really good recs for me, definitely let me know in the comments because I am dying to know. But I have a great stack of books, and the first one I want to talk about is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. Oh, this is another author that I really like. I loved her previous series. I don't remember what it was called, but it was The Bridge Kingdom. That one I really liked. This one I think revolves around gods or something. So let me look at the synopsis. A shield maiden blessed by the gods battles to unite a nation under a power-hungry king while fighting her growing desire for his fiery son in this Norse-inspired fantasy romance. So I've heard this one's really good, and I think she ends up falling for the son of this horrible king that she hates. And she's desperate to prove her strength. Freya must train to fight and learn to control her magic, all while facing perilous tests set by the gods. The greatest test of all, however, may be resisting her forbidden attraction to Bjorn. If Freya succumbs to her lust for the charming and fierce warrior, she risks not only her own destiny, but the fate of all the people she has sworn to protect. Okay, this one sounds so good. I really do enjoy Danielle L. Jensen's romances. This cover is stunning. I love it so much. And the sprayed edges, I mean, are you kidding me? So I'm excited to get to this one. I love this cover. I've heard really good things, that people enjoy it, so I'm excited to get to it. The next one I have is The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee. So I've heard people say this one is their favorite in the series. The first book is good, but then the second book isn't good. So this one, I think this is a hate to love one. It says, fleeing my father's cruelty, the wicked king who robbed me of a future, I faced death in the streets, caught between a rebellion and a tyrant's reign. Captured by those sworn to kill me, the rebels remained blind to my true identity, the missing daughter of the despised king. Faced with an impossible choice, I stand before them, join the rebels, or face their blades. Yet Dakrai, the son of the ruthless rebellion commander, becomes torn between suspicion and a desire that mirrors my own. He allows no one to touch me, tries to protect me, yet threatens me at every turn. As secrets are weaved beyond our hidden realm, a fierce battle unfolds within me. Ooh, this sounds like a forbidden hate-to-love romance. This sounds really, really good. This one is super popular, but I've heard amazing things, so I am really excited to get to this one. And let me know if you like the rest of the series, or if you only like this one. But I'm excited. I love a good hate-to-love fantasy romance. Then I have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I've had this one on my TBR for so long. I really need to get to it. Maybe I will get to the series in October because actually just from Peace Love Books, I'm a part of her Patreon, and she is doing a readathon of the series. And so this one, I think the heroine, I don't know, this is definitely YA, and she is at an estate, both glittering and gloomy, blah, blah, blah. But when their mother's restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned, Signa realizes that the family she depends on could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. However, Signa's best chance of uncovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself, a fascinating, dangerous shadow who has never been far from her side. Though he's made her life a living hell, Death shows Signa that their growing connection may be more powerful and more irresistible than she ever dared imagined. Okay, so I think they have to work together to solve a murder. And this is kind of Death is the hero, but this is YA, but she is coming out with her an adult romance series, fantasy, and that's really exciting, but I've heard amazing things about this book and the series, so I definitely want to get to it soon. And I have Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I loved and read Powerless a couple of months ago. This is the sequel that I really need to get to. The first book left off on a cliffhanger, and this series is about our heroine. She is an ordinary in a world where everyone needs to be extraordinary, and she basically has no powers, but in this world, if you don't have powers, that means you are exiled or could be killed, and so she kind of keeps this secret that she doesn't have powers a secret, and so she is living on the streets currently, and she ends up accidentally saving one of the sons of the king. He's a prince, and he notices her, and that kind of garners her attention, and she gets put in these trials. It's kind of like if Divergent met the Hunger Games, and it's very intriguing, and so she kind of has to team up with the hero, and she's against all of these other people to win this trial, like slash contest thing, but she has no powers, and so she has to pretend that she kind of can read people's minds, and it's a very interesting series, and she has to team up with different people, and she has this like hate to love angsty tension with the hero. It's really, really good. The first book left off on a cliffhanger, so I'm excited to get to this one. Obviously, I don't want to say too much about this one because it is the second book in the series, but just know I'm very excited to read it. Then I have Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. I always forget this author's name. This is the new edition cover because it is trad published now, and I'm so excited to read this. I've heard nothing but amazing things. This is a dragon romance, and it says an exiled princess teams up with the last man she thought she could trust in the start of a dazzling and unforgettable epic fantasy romance series. So I think she has to team up with this guy, and then there's like dragons, and they have to like work together because there's a threat of a war. It's an immersive fantasy filled with a sizzling, reluctant allies to lovers romance, a world to get lost in, perilous quests, dragon bonds, and an entertaining band of characters to root for. Okay, this sounds really good. So I'm excited for this one. I think the cover is stunning. I'll see if I can kind of see the shimmery. It's so pretty. So I'm really excited for that one and to get to it soon. Then I had to grab One Dark Window for this list. I have just heard nothing but amazing things about this book for a year now. This is a gothic romantasy, and this one says that Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mislocked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder and guilty of high treason. Ooh, okay. So I've heard great things about this one. I know Tori from A Novel Life loves this romance so much in the series, so I really, really want to get to it. And I have the most anticipated fantasy romance that I really want to get to. I might start reading it soon. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This is a fae, enemies to lovers, romantasy. And this is pretty. I didn't know it had dragons. Stop. That's so pretty. Okay. So this one is about an assassin. Her world turns upside down, and she finds herself imprisoned, and that's where she meets the hero. He recently lost the great love of his life, and he is now a king, and he is trying to quell his like grief or something, it says, and that's when he kind of sees the heroine, and it's very vague for the synopsis, but I've heard really good things, so I really want to get to it. And then I also have Bonded by Thorns. This is a Why Choose kind of retelling of Beauty and the Beast. I've heard that it's really amazing. It's a fae romance. It's Why Choose. That's all I really know. That's all I want to know, honestly. And then I also have Quicksilver. And this is another fae romance. It's been going around. This one's by Kelly Hart. I read Requiem by Kelly Hart and really enjoyed that one. So hopefully I will love this one as well. I think this one's enemies to lovers, but I honestly don't want to know too much about it because I like to go into my fantasies blind. But that is the end of my TBR. And I hope you enjoyed hearing me chat about all of the fantasy romances that I really am dying to get to. I'm so excited to read so many of these. They all sound amazing, and I am just like so excited to read them. Definitely down below, let me know what your favorite fantasy romances are, and if we align on our TBR, or if you have any suggestions that you think I would love. Definitely let me know, and I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you